The vibes.
Hello guys, my name is Nnenna and I am your host for this episode of The Vibes. Today we're going to be talking about practicing hygiene with our esteemed guest,
Estelle.
Okay, so let's dive right into it. So I have a few questions for you.
Yes.
So my first question is, what do you classify as being hygienic? Would it be nails? Would it be skin? Would it be hair?
I would say being hygienic is taking care of your body, taking care, the wellness of your body, and prioritizing it and listening to it, and cleaning it.
Honestly, I would classify it as all of the above, because what would you be without your hair done and then your nails done? Like, what if one nail is like chipped? I don't think it's like, I feel like one chipped nail would ruin the whole entire nail set.
You have to keep that all in check.
Yeah, but then it consumes a lot of time, so.
Yeah, that's true. That's why I feel like what it means to be hygienic is to at least just take care of like what's already on your body. If you want to do some add-on stuff, I don't think being hygienic is like having your makeup done every day.
Yeah.
Because your makeup is not like your body. It's just what you put on top of it. But the skincare before the makeup, that's important.
So you don't believe in makeup also aiding in cleanliness and just.
No? Not really. I mean, hey, if you feel like makeup makes you look better, then that's a plus. But does that necessarily? I don't think that's synonymous with being hygienic. I'm not saying it means it's unhygienic. I just feel like it's just not in the same category.
Okay, fair point. Okay, my next question is, well, this is very controversial. Is acne sometimes assumed to be related to having bad hygiene, and why is it perceived so?
I guess it could be perceived so because there's many factors as to why one can have acne, and one of the biggest factors is also just simply not cleaning your face or not taking care of not remaking your bed, and your bedding is really important, and just the stuff that you put on your face can contribute to acne. But I am aware, and I feel like it's acne is also something that's genetic, and acne can also be stress caused. There's so many factors as to why one can have acne. So I feel it's wrong for people to jump to that conclusion, but I just hope everyone to themselves are at least doing what they can do to.
Yeah. And then so relative to acne, then why do people do 10-step skincare routines?
Honestly, I wonder that question too, because as a person who doesn't really have that big of a skincare routine, I feel like it's not really necessary, but I also am very privileged because I feel like I am in a family of really good skin, and so I don't really feel like I actually have to try that hard, but I feel like I do have some friends that do not have the same genetics as I do, and then they feel like having a big massive skincare routine is actually what helps them make the acne go away or lessen. So I feel like it is up to everyone, but I also do believe that there's a lot of products out there that don't really work as well as people think they do, and I just really hope people just are aware of what's right for them.
So do you believe that most of the products that people use on their face is chemical based, so it's not really helping them?
Yeah, I don't think it's helping them at all, and I feel like there's certain things that are just naturally good for your face, and I feel like turning to chemicals and turning to things that are not natural and things that are man-made are, yeah, not as good as you may think simply because it's not natural.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, my next question is, how do you think people from lower class society can afford to be able to present their best demeanor and look their best?
I feel like I said, like I feel like there's so many ways to take care of yourself without even having to spend money or spending that much money. So I feel like as just try to like maximize taking care of yourself for free as much as possible, like simply like showering and like brushing your teeth and like eating well and like stuff like that. Um, yeah, and also natural based products could be really good. And I think it's really doable to have like a good like personal hygiene even though you are in the lower class. And which is like what I was talking about before, being like just because you can like spend so much money on all these skincare products doesn't mean that you are like the most hygienic person in the world, or you're really doing like what's best for your body. Like yeah.
Yeah, I would say that hygiene has to definitely be relative to what you consume,
Yeah.
the nutrition.
Yeah.
Because if we're not consuming the things that are good for our skin, our nails, then you can't really like go to a salon and then like they fix nails for you, which are just temporary.
Yeah.
You know? Okay, my next question. Okay. How do you correlate hygiene with socioeconomic status? Do you think that the rich are more likely like favored because they can afford like good skincare products?
That's the thing, like they're not. And it's really unfortunate that people think that way, where they think like, oh, because someone has like more money than the other person, then that makes them a cleaner person. That is not true at all, because at the end of the day, like there's so many ways that you can get yourself clean for free. So it's just like it's all about the self and not really about the value of like, I don't know, it's not about your wealth really. And I feel like it being like synonymous is like pretty ridiculous. Like I feel like there's a lot of like rich people I know that don't take care of themselves the best, or don't like smell the best and stuff like that. And then like, and what does that tell you? It just means like, yeah, a lot of people have money, but does that necessarily mean they spend it on taking care of themselves? Or obviously not. Like there's a lot of people out there.
But the rich can afford the best of the best.
They can afford the best of the best, but do they even know what the best of the best means? Like that's
I mean, they can hire someone to teach them.
Yeah, they can, and like lucky them. And I feel like those people are probably going in like the right direction, like having like, I don't know, like a dermatologist and like all that type of stuff. Like I feel like that's good for them, but is that all rich people? Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Okay. So my next question is, why do you think it's good to take care of hygiene?
Because it's really it's good for like not only your mental well-being but your physical well-being. It definitely like makes you feel better, and it makes you like, it makes other people want to be around you more.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I feel like when you take care of like your body on the outside, I feel like it definitely comes from like it goes inside your body. So I feel like it's really important to, yeah, like prioritize what you see on the outside, because it actually affects like how you feel on the inside. And like
that's very true, because on the days that I don't necessarily like put an effort in my appearance is the days that I'm the most lazy, and like I procrastinate everything at that point. Yeah. So I feel like I'm more productive when I take care of myself.
Same.
Okay. My next question would be, would you recommend going some days without showering? Like, say if you're at like a camping ground, like, would you recommend that?
Definitely not. Recommend is like not like the right word, I would say. It's just I acknowledge circumstance, so it's just like if you're unable to shower for a couple of days, and you're unable to shower for a couple of days, but I feel like everyone should strive to shower or like take care of themselves and do self-care and clean themselves at least once a day. So I feel like, yeah, that's what people should work towards, but I definitely like don't recommend not showering for a couple days. But if that's like the situation you're in, then I get it. There is in university I lived in residence, and the showers are like communal, and one time like the showers just like had no curtains, so I was like, well, I'm not gonna shower when there's like no curtains, because then I have no privacy. So yeah, I had to skip like 2 days and it's like sucked, but like it's just all about circumstance. So
I remember reading this article, and it talked about how we shouldn't go like days without showering, that it should be one time in a day that we shower. Like, we shouldn't skip showering, because it's like it causes there to be a lot of skincare issues, and some skincare issues are like not hormonal or like genetics. It's obviously there's a causation for it, and it's not showering. So would you think that? Like, would you agree?
Me personally, I just like, I know that like I feel like I can probably go a couple of days without showering, but the thing is, like, will I feel good about myself if I did that? Like, no. And that's why I'm like, not only is it for your physical well-being, it's also for your mental well-being. Like after like a day of like not showering, I'm just like, I don't feel good anymore about myself. So if you feel still good about yourself after showering after like one day, then I guess go off. But you just like take the shower anyways and see how you feel and see how much better you feel, and then you'll thank me later.
Okay, well, thank you, Estelle, for your answers. We're gonna go on break right now, and I'll hope to see you guys later.
The vibe.
I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away. I believe I can soar. See me rising to the highest heights. I believe. Hi, my name is Samsung, the church voice Samsung. I'm a gospel artist, a songwriter, a composer, a producer, a husband, and a father of 4 boys, and I'm right here in the GWOW studios promoting Brampton Rising Star. For more information, go to www.bramptonrisingstar.ca. There you find everything you need to know about the Talent Hunt show. The 21st of August is the grand finale, and I'll be performing live at the iconic Rose Theatre. You don't want to miss this. You want to see me perform. So go tell someone about it and make it loud. Brampton Rising Stars. The next big thing.
Okay, guys, we are back. So we're joined here again by Estelle. We're gonna get right into the questions again. Okay, so what country do you think has the best skincare? Like, I want to know.
Okay, so I went to South Korea a couple years ago, and I think they're really good with their skin. Um, there were so many like skincare stores around, and they had like all kinds of products, and I was like really like yeah, I was really like stunned by it all. And so I would say like over there, I feel like Asia's really good with that stuff. But like yeah, South Korea.
So then why do you think that they have like the best skincare? Because before we said that 10-step skincare routines are not like preferably the best.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like they just like prioritize that. I feel like culturally they like prioritize skincare a lot, and I think that's really important to them. So I feel like they're just like they just know what they're talking about, therefore they just like know what they need. I'm not sure if they promote like having like several products, but I feel like they definitely like what they sell or what they take is probably beneficial to them.
Yeah, I would agree that Korea is like really known for like having a glassy like skin texture. But then I also see a lot of like people in Africa like they don't necessarily have like glassy skin texture, but their skin is clear. And I think that has to do with like nutritional.
Yeah,
like,
they definitely eat good over there. On top of that, they have really good like like they have really good like I don't know what's the right word. I don't want to say like ingredients, but like they have really good resources, natural resources.
Very natural, yeah.
So I feel like it's really easy for them to get that good skincare in and get that like good nutrients for themselves because they have a lot of like natural resources like all around them, which the conversation which other people keep stealing from, but that is a whole different episode.
Okay, so we already said that nutrition is a very big factor in hygiene. So what foods would you recommend eating that would help our nails to be like beautiful and our skin to be glowing? Like, what would you recommend?
Okay, so there's a vitamin called biotin, and I recommend that. What food it's in, I'm not too sure. I take the pill, but I recommend that vitamin. But I would say simply like fruits and vegetables are so good for you. Nuts are really good for you. I feel like that's all I can know. Drinking water is so important. It's so important. But yeah,
I feel
water
like
most importantly.
I feel like leafy vegetables are always good for skin. And like tomatoes are very good for skin, and watermelon. Like just eat any fruit that's just really good, like strawberries, watermelon, pineapple. They're all really, really tasty.
Yeah.
And then at that same moment, like simultaneously, you're getting the benefits. Okay. So, do you think that between like vintage and elegance, that vintage presents like a lack of hygiene for some people? This is very controversial.
Yeah, very controversial. But vintage. Like, what do you mean? Like wearing like vintage clothing?
Yeah, like basically the style that's like overtaking this generation, like Gen Z.
Do you think I dress vintage?
I think you dress very vintage.
So it's funny because like I think what people are like what like you mean by that is like buying like secondhand clothing means like poor hygiene. And I get this like I have this debate a lot with my mom because she's like, why are you buying secondhand clothing? And I think it's and this is like what I say. I simply wash the clothes before I wear them. And I feel like that's me taking good care of like myself and taking good care of the clothes that I wear. So I don't think that means it's necessarily poor hygiene. And on top of that, new clothes that are produced, is that necessarily clean? Because at the end of the day, these are like made in factories and also they are transported through all kinds of like planes, boats, and all that type of stuff. So like, who's to say, like, what you're wearing is clean? And, you know, especially if you're, like, at the store and then you try them on and then you reject it, like, the clothes are going right back to, like, where you got it and it's not getting washed in between. So as long as you wash the clothes before you wear them, like, at the first time, then I feel like, yeah, you're good. And wearing vintage clothing or thrifting your clothes does not mean you have poor hygiene. It just means that you're either low on money or you want to look good.
So let me paint a scenario for you.
Yeah.
So, you know, like the old money aesthetic versus someone that wears baggy clothing and has like really heavy chains. Like, who would you assume to have like the better hygiene?
That's a good question.
If someone were to wear like high heels and come out with a monochromatic aesthetic with their clothing, like, who would you assume to have the better hygiene? Who would workforces assume to have the better hygiene?
I guess, like, yeah, the girls that are all, like, elegant and stuff, and that's because, like, I feel like women definitely know how to take care of themselves more than men, so I feel like I would definitely assume, like, yeah, like, she's definitely, like, killing it, and this guy's just, like, whatever, but I don't know, like, typically I try not to be that person where I assume before I, like, actually, like, I'm in their proximity, but that's my assumption.
So this is also very controversial, but do you think that if a girl doesn't shave versus a guy not shaving, like, do you think there is a separation between them where women are held to a higher standard than men are?
Systemically, I think so. I feel like it's definitely, like, ingrained in our heads that like, women should shave and men, like, don't have to. And it's messed up, but I don't feel like that should be the case. I feel like it honestly shouldn't matter. Personally, it doesn't really matter to me. But at the same time, personally, I like to shave. I like to, shave my legs and stuff like that. So there's that, but I just like the look of it. But when I'm not shaved, that I don't necessarily, like, feel like I'm dirtier. It's just, like, the way, like, I like how my leg looks when it's just, like, hairless. And honestly, I feel that way about, like, both, like, men and women. I feel like I like the look of, like, no hair on the legs.
Yeah.
But also, I don't really care because it's, like, everyone's choice at the end of the day. But it's just, like, my preference. But I'm not going to impose that on anyone else. It's just, like, what I'm doing.
Yeah, but don't you think that not shaving is also a contributor to body odor?
Oh, when it comes to, like, the pits, but your body, your choice.
So why? Okay. So I know that it's, like, your body, your choice.
Yeah.
Like, we're all pro-choice, but like, if you're gonna surround yourself with people, don't you think that you should be conscious of whether or not you're affecting the smell, the odor of the environment?
Yeah, I feel like you should be mindful of that, but at the end of the day, like, I feel like it's okay to tell someone that they don't smell the best, but to tell them that it's because they have hair, like, they have more hair than you, then I think that's messed up. Because, like, there's ways to, like, get rid of the body odor without shaving. I just feel like also, like, to shave is just, like, it makes the body odor, like, less.
And then my last question
That's the word.
is gonna be, you know, like, the deodorants that are, like, perspirant, like, they don't really, like, cover, like, the sweat and kind of hide it. So, like, whenever people have, like, shirts and the sweat is, like, penetrating through the shirt, do you think that is necessarily clean, or do you think that like it's fine?
I feel like it's natural. Sweating is natural. So if it happens, then it happens. There's been instances where, because me personally, I, regardless of temperature, regardless of weather, I like layers. I like wearing like a lot of things on me, and I like also really enjoy long sleeves. So it could be like a really hot day, and then I'm wearing like either a lot of layers or just like something just warm, and yeah, I'm gonna sweat, and then that might be something that's like showing through, and I can't really control that all too much. Did I put deodorant beforehand? Yes. Is it still there? Yes. And when I get home, just gonna hit the shower, and then the next day is a new day.
Yeah, I know that, but some people are not really aware that this person used deodorant, because if there is sweat penetrating through the shirt, I'm sorry, but I think it looks gross. But even though, like, within, like, being close to them, being within their proximity, they do smell good, but it doesn't look like they do.
But at the end of the day, like, it is like natural, and like I don't think anybody like wants that to happen, but it like what happens anyway. So like, for example, like I work out and I'm exercising, I'm running, I'm doing cardio, I'm lifting, I'm doing something that produces sweat, and now I'm sweating.
But don't you take a shower after that?
Yeah, of course.
But they're standing within my proximity with like having a gesture.
Like, the second I like start sweating, I can't just like run home, shower, and then come back to the gym. I need to like finish what I'm doing, and then I'm gonna go. And I'm sorry that you're seeing me in this state, and I wish it wasn't this way, but it is that way right now. And you just need to accept me for when I'm like sweating and for when I'm not. Okay, okay. Like, it's just natural. It's just natural, and as long as you're taking like, you are dealing with it eventually, then I feel like that's you taking care of yourself.
Well, thank you, Estelle, for answering all of these questions. I hope you guys I hope you guys stay tuned for other episodes. Godspeed.
Goodbye.
The vibe.